Okay. Okay. Hold on. Hold on. Fucking hell. Fucking hell. Okay. Man, the lighting. It's really the box, you know? You need the... How do I show chat? It's been so long. All messages. Okay. Yeah. It's been a while since I've been live, you know? Um, Especially on YouTube. Oh, there we go. Can you hear me? Pardon my nerd. God, I really haven't gone live for so long. Um, yeah. I got this Leo, not from Super 7, which my Super 7 order did ship today. Let me swallow my gum. You can kind of see me right there. Cool, 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 cool. Hopefully you can hear me well. I have a headphone in. I don't know if it's pulling that for the audio or not. What's up, Gomez? What's up, Master Splinter? Hold on, I didn't swallow my gum yet. Perfect. Thank you, folks. So, Super 7, they're just barely shipping these out to folks like today. I am an impatient fool, and I was kind of curious if Entertainment Earth would still get it sooner if I just placed an order. Because I ordered from Super 7, you know, last year, whatever. Entertainment Earth, I ordered this one like this week at some point. I think I'll give the other one away as like a giveaway. I'll do that. Waiting for Shredder. That wave does look super sick. Hopefully it still comes out with everything that's going on. But I'm super curious about these Ultimates, so I wanted to get them as soon as possible. Crack them open. Here we have the packaging. This is how it comes. There is like a plastic bag on it, but you don't get like the slip cover. There's no shipper box. Although, ironically, Entertainment Earth does send you like their actual literal box, but this is not like the stock packaging. Companies don't have to send this, but you can see, I think that's always kind of neat to have. So some people, you might get that. Technically, it did come in a shipper box. Did they send you two of these too? Ah, God, no. I wish. I wish. So yeah, here's the cool packaging. No credits or nothing, but you can see pretty good display. I do think their packaging is too big. I think they could... I love the look, but I think they could shrink it down. And there's like a weird thing at the top. But let's just open it up. Let's see if these are good. What the hell? Bam. The lighting. I hate the lighting on this. Oh, hi. Ha! That's better. I'll use my phone flash. That makes sense. DLX Gaming, what's up? So you can see there's a lot of like empty space on the packaging, and there's not a ton of accessories. They could like suck this down pretty cool. Here's the Leo. Looks phenomenal. No plastic ties. I think they just have the one tie. What's up, my boy Timothy 1987? He's been the most, because he's not a Super 7 head, but he's very much a 2003 head. He hates when I say the truth, which is the 2003 series is the worst one. Good God. Okay, so there's that. Whoa, thank you so much for the donation, my friend. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. So, articulation in the elbows looks fragile. I mean, that's not a good sign. The bent plastic there. Interesting. You can see it kind of goes too far. And I did just say that. So, can you do a full Townsend? I mean, technically, it's gonna butt up against the shell, but you're doing that. Like if you're the elbow articulation, it's interesting. But look, like he can do like the reach over the shoulder, right? Like he can do the shoulder reach. So that's pretty good. I'm very curious about the legs, because I've had some freaking floppy Super 7 legs. Like right off the jump, I've had figures where it's just like they flip flop back and forth. So that's holding. That's interesting. Hold on, let's stop that. God damn it. It's my alarm. I thought I turned off my alarms, but I didn't. So, yeah, that's pretty good reach. Like if we take, oh god. That's, fuck, did I lose a sword immediately? Okay. Yeah, Samurai Leo. Here, these swords I think look terrible. They should be metal, and that's a straight up like plastic ass sword. They didn't even care to make it look like, here's a Joy Toy sword where they did like metal paint. These ones, they're like, that's cast plastic. Just joined. Did you have to use the blow dryer? I no blow dryer. I've literally just opened it up, and it's all been fine. I don't think I've ever had to use a blow dryer for Super 7 figures. What the hell is this? The hell? What is that? Okay. So yeah, he's reaching back to grab the swords. That's pretty dope. Like that's a good sword reach. Though I don't think, if you think it through, I don't think he could possibly remove the sword from the sheath in reality. So there's that interesting shoulder joint where it's just, they're not really hiding it. And so there's no like butterfly action. It's kind of ratchety. Yeah, I did pay from Entertainment Earth. I paid, I think it was 59. But there's that. So there's like, in terms of like butterflying, because there's no like cut into the body, so you're not doing that. But like, in terms of a fold, you have that. It does have an interesting feel. Like here's the Sewer Surfer Mikey. There's like a feel to the plastic. I do want to say it's not a rubbery feel. It's not like a rubber, but it feels rubbery, is what we'll say. So the legs, they do have like a very thick, like if you look, if we pry open Mikey's legs, you can kind of see the little pole there. This one is thicker. That's a thicker pole, which is nice, though it's a thinner crotch. So thick, thin crotch going on. Show where the front shell transitions to the side under his arms. There's virtually no paint on this figure, is what I'm gonna say. What's up, Jason? Yeah, Amazon, I don't know when they'll ship it. They do have that set for the 30th. Actually, there is paint. You can see there is some like shading on the leg. Can you guys see? It's kind of subtle. And on the arm. So it's actually not unpainted. There's some subtle shading. Even on the plastron. The shell, there's no paint, but yeah. Is there like a ridge or it just turns green? Sorry, what part are you talking about? Was it worth the purchase? Interesting question. I do think the shell is a bit of an eyesore. Like, it's not necessarily a bad color, but it could use, like, at least a wash. So the legs are pretty solid. I wouldn't say it's loose. Front shell to the green side part. Like, that's just like a solid line. So this is actually, I assume, hard to tell which one's painted. If it's painted yellow on the green or if it's green on the yellow. Usually the front of the shell is a whole piece. Yeah, it's like a little rubber spot, interestingly. And so there's a little action in the hip area. You can do some turning, but not much. The plastron is just like a plastic flap. I ordered all four from Super7. I haven't got them yet. I ordered this one from Entertainment Earth on a lark. Ooh, let's see. The is the back shell soft? It's a squeezable plastic, but it's not soft. I wonder if they're going to release another version of Leo with a broken shell. At this point, given all that's going on with Super 7, ooh, look at that. Is that scuffing? What the fuck? I don't know what I scuffed that shit on. I'd be shocked if we got more than another wave, honestly. Like the shredder wave, maybe they have another one like baked in, but I'd be kind of surprised if they're still in business. I don't know. What the fuck is this from? I think I don't know what the fuck I ground that on. Huh. Interesting. Do you know when the Casey Jones drops? The second wave they have the estimate for December. This is $55 from Entertainment Earth. It was $60. So we have Leo there. Interestingly, like there's a lot of give to this, which I think isn't a bad thing. That's like soft rubber. Like it's a great looking Leo. I think they'll do a third wave. I do think a third wave is possible if they have like the designs and plans in the tank. But like beyond that, but again, I'm skeptical if Super 7 just survives that long just because of what's going on. So it's a pretty cool figure. The double joints. I don't know. They do feel flimsy. Like I don't have a lot. I hope for Karai in new one wave. That a Karai would be cool. They're not like smooth joints, I would say. But that's the extent of that. So double-handed sword. Let's do that. I do think the sword is just god-awful. Though it kind of reminds me of like, you know in Zelda you get like the white sword, you know? But like how do you not Jesus invest in some goddamn silver paint? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? If Super 7 was around this time next year, I'd be shocked. Yeah, I mean, I hope they are, because I love Super 7, all their, you know, warts and all, as we say. But given the map, fuck me. Given given the mass layoffs, I laugh just not at the layoffs, but at myself. I'd be shocked. So a double sword grip. I mean, hold on. I gotta get this shit in the right positioning. And then that. I'm gonna say this. Folks expecting like anything more from the articulation, I think you're gonna be disappointed. But he can double hand a sword. They're trying to make it look really close to the show. Yeah, I guess that's fair. But I don't know. Like it's just such a pale thing. It it weirds me out. Move the shoulders up. There's that. You want to do like a over the head. double sword, like slashiness. Like I'm not the world's best like poser, you know? So I'm sure some people can get way better poses out of it than I. But generally the range, the hands also have like a softness. The whole plastic, it's a different plastic feel than Super 7 has done. We even have like Metalhead. And here's the example with Metalhead of how loose the legs can be. Like that, which Leo doesn't have this. So though it's solid, I wouldn't call it a loose figure in the way that it's been loose before. I'm up to buy it for my shelf, but not for my kid. I think his action figure will be destroyed by a kid fast. Yeah, I don't think this is super kid friendly. I'm pretty sure this scuff was from me, like as I was messing with it. So be careful when you're moving it around. It's gonna scuff on itself. And I think it's kind of the SH Figuarts thing where it's like there's a harder plastic on a softer. White sword for cartoon. I think they're starting to do that with Lino because the sword is white in the tune. That makes sense, I suppose. Your shelf because you're a super fan. He looks shiny. Is it your lighting or does he look matte? I mean, the lighting I have, and I don't know if you want to judge the matteness. What's up, Trix? What's up, Milo? I actually scuffed Mikey, was able to fix it with a heat gun. Interesting. Mikey jump scare. I mean, Joy Toy, like this April's fairly matte. I don't know. I'm trying to look if I have any matte figures. Or if you consider this matte. So there is some shine from the lights for sure. So I would say it's in between. It's not quite glossy, but it's not like a true matte. And you can see in some parts, it's just like the bare plastic. Part of me really thinks he would benefit a bit with a dark wash. Absolutely. Like, the same, because Loyal Subjects, here's a Loyal Subjects Leo. They do, like, the wash just brings out the details. But you can see, like, neither of these shells gets a wash, and they just stand out. But there's also not a lot of like the detail on the scabbards you could bring out with the wash. You think it's the lighting? Yeah, I wouldn't call it. I would call this normal, but there is. It's most of this figure isn't painted. Like a lot of it is just raw plastic, or like very minimal paint. So I don't know. It's interesting. Looks like the tune. Yeah, I mean it's up to people's like tastes. One thing I don't like is these joints aren't smooth to move. You know, so like as you're posing, it's kind of a bitch to stand. And I'll use like Joy Toy as an example. Like, and they're single jointed, but you can move Joy Toy like pretty fluidly, right? Or even like this NECA Lawson turtle, I would say like it has joints I'm not afraid of, although they're not super smooth. But these ones, like I can't, like it requires force to like bend the leg. But it's interesting. Did you get a notification when they're delivering? Yeah, I just got the email today, actually. Keep in mind with Super 7 at this point, they've gutted their staff, so they probably have a lot less people doing things in general, so it might take longer. But I suspect if you have an order, you should get a shipping notification either in a little bit or it might take till tomorrow. But what were you saying? Yeah, so a heat gun, you could heat it up. I usually don't heat my toys. With Super 7, I would be concerned with looseness. Um, they're using kind of their standard joints. What's interesting, you can see from these joints, they go beyond, like, you can overextend the knee to a degree, which is interesting. But they essentially took their normal joint scheme and they just did it twice. It's a very interesting thing. Please do a quick review. I mean, that's why I wanted to go live, so we could just, like, kind of experience it together. There's some parts, though. Do you see... I don't know if it comes up on screen, but you can see, like, the plastic is, like, almost, like, pre-stressed. Will you make a video? Yeah, absolutely. As I mess with him more. But yeah, so not, like bad articulation. But I do think people are going to be disappointed because it's still very much in the range of Super 7. What's up, Cal? We're just checking these out. Okay, so there's that. Should we do a head swap? Let's put that guy there. Because the other accessories you get hands, you get the turtle column, and you get the head. I'm curious if they do Hun. Yeah. I don't know. Does everyone know the Super 7 events that have gone on? Because this week they did massive layoffs. So to me, it's doubtful what the future will be. Holy shit, this plastic is so thick and it's so tight on the Leo. I can't get it out. They only have 5 designers left. Yeah, the numbers I heard was 75% of the design team is gone and 45% of employees in general. But more importantly, like Kyle Wadaga, who designs the TMNT line, they fired him. So I have my doubts how long they continue it if you fire the guy who was doing the line, you know? So here's the different head. Let's do a head swap. Not bad. Pretty good detail there. Yeah, it's more painted than I thought. You can see here, and I think the live quality is shittier than the camera can do. So like a proper video will show it, but there is some shading there. Can you twirl the pegs? Yeah. So that's just like a little peg you can take out. Like if you wanted... Okay. If I wanted a different bandana on this guy. Waiting TMNT figures. Yeah, head articulation. McFarlane, I think McFarlane will be interesting. I think it's a pass for me. I think the only thing I could have wanted was tighter leg joints. So it's like, that's all I hoped for. You could see, do you see that? I'm pretty sure, like, if you do too extreme, you're going to scuff the shit out of it. But, like, the articulation is better. But it's not... I don't think it's that much better, frankly. Like... I mean, I mean, I think it's a good look. I think these are great looking figures. The articulation on the head, as you can see, like you can swirl them all around and that's fine. But you can't, because there's nothing. The neck is, I mean, there is a little in the neck. Sports gear, that would have been cool. Like their scooters and stuff. What the I think, I don't know. Is the neck even twisted around? So there's a piece in the neck you can move a tiny bit. You could probably, I assume people will mod it and like cut it up. Can he do a Spider-Man type pose? Let's see. What's a Spider-Man type pose if we do? How far can his leg which direction are you wanting it to bend? Because he can do full splits. And like I said, you can even overextend the knee a tad. Do like that. And so there's no, actually there is interestingly, can y'all see? Like it's not a solid piece with the hips. So you can get some forward movement if you're doing some like yoga shit. I do find, I don't know, I think the hand pegs are a little too short. I don't need like super hard to switch hands, but the fuck did I do there? I'm trying to think in my head like a Spider-Man pose. Let me see. Let me go on my phone. Hold on. Spider-Man pose. Did you finish? I'm on watching the series and I'm about to record with my podcast buddies. We're on season 4, like episode 11. What's up, Danny? Darvis. Okay, so there's a Spider-Man pose. I feel like they need a black wash. A black wash would be cool. I think that would be good. I do feel like I'm gonna break the joints constantly. Let me say that. I'm not saying they're bad joints, but take it for what it will. There's some joints that just you can feel you can move smoothly and not like fuck them up. I don't know if those are these. So, and then how how's that for a Spider-Man type pose? I mean, you can get the leg pretty high up there, like, you know. Test the articulation by us Iron Man pose. Dun, dun, like that, like the hero landing shit. How's what we're going for? Ironically, Hero Landing is actually very, very Spider-Man. Well, I guess you could still do that one. Yeah, I mean, there's no... There's some functional ab crunch, but do you see that though? Like this figure, man. The scuffing. The scuffing on itself is fucking annoying. I don't personally care necessarily too much, but I've had this for literally like 30 minutes and I've scuffed it on itself in multiple ways, which is kind of fucking nuts. Um so there's your like hero landing pose. So like not bad, but I don't know. I really I think people imagined, and I was talking to some friends about this, that there's more fucking scuffing. When you give something double joints, it just automatically means better articulation, which technically it does, because you have like in theory better range than a single joint would allow, but you can design single joints in such a way that they can do what a double can. So it really depends like how you sculpt it. It's just not a matter of like adding, double joints. How high up can he look? Like that. Like there's really actually okay, you can force the down pretty okay. Um Now I don't do the pop-in joints bullshit that people do on Instagram. If we spin the neck around, oh god. I bet we could get more. Okay. Okay, look. So if you spin the neck around, I don't have the other brothers yet because my Super 7 order hasn't actually been delivered yet. Um, so I just ordered this single Leo from Entertainment Earth to fuck around. Okay, so spinning the neck around didn't really help. I don't know if I even got it all around. And that's a real bitch. So the down is definitely better than the up, but you could probably mod the shit out of this. There's a lot of room. The biggest factor though is there's a hard lip there, so you're not getting much beyond that. So you're about there because it just doesn't go. But down pretty good. He can look at his own, side to side. You can look up like that. Like that. Modding a Super 7 figure is super risky. Yeah, probably. There's not, but that's pretty good. Like if we compare it to like compared to like Sewer Surfer Mikey, which usually their necks fuck. That guy's on there tight as shit. Usually their necks are fused, and so you're really not getting anything. So I don't know. That's about as good as you're getting. Little boxing poses. You get this cool little like turtle com, which looks like a bomb. Doesn't that look like a C4 bomb? Not bad there. But yeah, I mean, this is all the accessories you're getting. Just the hands and the swords. The shell cell. So, articulation. I don't know. I'm digging the hyperextending of the knee. I'm digging that. TMNT, TNT. Like it's the best articulation a Super 7 turtle has had. But does that mean good articulation? I don't know. But it's cool. Like he could do like reaching for the swords and shit. What the hell? It's like resistance there. Wave 2 seems more accessorized. Yeah, I'm trying to think. I do think Wave 2 is a bit more stacked. Okay, I guess they don't fit all the way in the scabbard. But, you know, pretty good. They better deliver on Wave 2. I mean, their estimate for Wave 2 is December of 2025. Are the sheaths gummy? Take the swords out before I fuck with them. No. They're hard. It's attached to a very like soft rubber strap, which is actually nice because you can mess with it. But they have Wave 2 estimated for December 2025, which usually that gets pushed back. The whole like tariffs slowed down production a bit, so I don't think they'll meet December 2025. I do think I don't know. I can't really say. But I would expect that to be delivered, but after that, I really don't expect anything more. I can't remember what wave that is. Because this is wave 13? Next one is 14? June 2026. Yeah. Because my doubts at this point, though, is just like the devastation of the company for employees is so catastrophic. I don't know how they continue, but that guy. Agree about Shredder. Super 7 tried to create a bicycle with this articulation, but it still looked good for a shelf. Yeah, I don't know. Super 7 just isn't an articulation company. You know? They're really about like the look of things. This figure has a very, I don't know. I'm still the whole time I'm just kind of mystified about the feel. I think it's pretty dope. But yeah, see, look at that. Like whenever I'm pushing it, because here's the thing. All this plastic, the legs, it's not a soft plastic, but you can feel there's like a softness to it, and it meets all these hard ridges. So I think I've scuffed it up everywhere. I've scuffed it up here. It's the SH Figuarts thing where it's like harder plastic meets a really sharp edge, and you can see like on the body that is super sharp. So I don't know. Be careful with that going into it. I don't know. I think it's pretty good. Worth $60. I mean, Entertainment Earth is actually a really good place to buy them because when they're in stock, you get free shipping and you get 10% off. What's up, Kusuo? I don't know if the 10% brings it down much after that. But Entertainment Earth is probably the best place to buy them, and they're the only ones who's been shipping them. $60 for this figure is rough. You do get a very, like, a beautiful box. Like, I think the box art is cool. That takes me way the hell back. Yeah, Entertainment Earth, someone correct me if I'm wrong. If you go on Entertainment Earth, it's $60. $59.99, I believe. Would they lower it someday if the tariff goes away? I don't know. Maybe. From Super 7 directly back in the day, they were do this pose. They were 55. I don't know. I don't know. It, ignoring realities like production numbers and all that. If we're just calling apples to apples, it's not a $60 value. But I don't regret it. So look, we have a head there. He looks so worn out. So we need this arm. One trick to Super 7 is you have like this hinge here. You can turn it all the way backwards, and that gets you some more behind the shoulder movement. Does he have butterfly joints? No. It's just a standard joint. There's no butterfly. None whatsoever. There's that. There's another sword. I'm so dumb. I got this one is from Entertainment Earth. Because I ordered this guy. My Super 7 order just shipped today. So, I was just very curious. So I did an Entertainment Earth order because they've been shipping and it shipped. The toe peg, the hole is on a weird spot. Does he have ab crunch? Functionally, no, but theoretically, this is a separate piece. So you can manipulate it to get a tiny bit, but not really. Like you can see that random guy and that one guy in this comment section. Oh, okay, I got from him. Yeah, I got Super 7 too, so I could get like the bonus heads. But if you've been seeing people with them, 100% they got them from Entertainment Earth. Unless they're like overseas and they got someone else's order. Or they got a different like order altogether. Is that the pose? I don't know. Because he's like leaning forward. I mean, the biggest problem you're going to have is there's nothing middle. The shipping they've been going out today. We know what this articulation is for. Indeed, this Leonardo fucks. Can you show the teeth on him real quick? Yeah, so I mean, I think I about hit the pose. Maybe there's some more. Looks like he has a gap. But like the hardest part is, yeah, there's really no chest action, which the way people draw it, there's chest action in there. But so head down. It's cool. Tight joints. Are they loose? No, not loose. Though here, let me show you the teeth before I go on. The teeth, he has 3 teeth, you can see. Um, slid the other hand up. Like, that's cool. I think that's a bad, like, this is a cool figure. I do like this figure. I think it's pretty rad for what it is, but just don't expect more than a Super 7 is what I'm gonna say. Um, you have SHF turtles, these heads will make them better. Yeah, fair, if you can jam them on there. I have the SH Figure Arts Raphael, and he's so good, but the legs are super loose. Okay, the looseness. The looseness with Super 7. The looseness that people are talking about is generally shit like this. Which, again, for the most part, like, depending on what you're doing, it's not like a huge, huge problem. It's just like, it's fucking annoying. Because it's like, why is this like that? So these legs aren't like that. Like, they hold, they're thick, they're stocky. Like, so far, I don't think I... Yeah, that's the looseness that Super 7 has been dealing with. So, anecdotally, with this figure, I think they fixed it. Though, even in the later, like the last wave, I've had figures that some were tight and some were loose. So I'm hesitant to say they fixed it because I don't think Super 7, how can I say this? And, I love all the guys there. I love the people there. I even love Brian Flynn. I think he seems like a cool dude. And Kyle's great, but I don't think they have it in them to do QC on mechanically appropriate figures. Does that make sense? And their QC in terms of like who's checking this kind of stuff, there seems to be like a huge gap, and it's not the people who design them. So I'm sure the designers get this stuff back and they're just like, that's fucking terrible. Like, if I got this figure back and I was like, hey, I moved it and it's scuffed to shit. We need to fix that. So I don't think they have any real QC process unless something's like busted. But these are mechanically very good. They're double joints. They don't feel good to move. They're ratcheted, which is nice. But I feel like over time they'll loosen up. But look at that. Look at that. Would you look at that? It's a very interesting double joint. I can't say I've ever seen it. NECA kind of does like a similar thing. But it's really like Super 7 took their joints and just like doubled it up. But it still doesn't touch on itself. Like, you can't, I mean, maybe I don't want to fuck with it too much, but, and then the arm. But it's cool. These are going to be your first Super 7 figures. I like Super 7 a lot. But, I don't know. What the hell? That's so weird. Dope, though. If you like 2003, you're going to get them. Will there ever be clearance on these? I don't like the people who are like, oh, in the groups, there's a lot of people who very annoyingly they shit on figures just 24/7, and they're like, oh, I'll just wait for it's on clearance, bro. And that annoys me. But, like, obviously, if you can get these on clearance, that's stellar. Because 60, I think it's worth it, personally. But it's kind of a nonsensical justification. But I don't know. You're on season 5 of the show and loving it. That's awesome. Why don't you want to get them, Kusuo? I don't like the show. I think the show's terrible. I can't handle the show. But this figure's cool. This is, I don't know what stand this is, but that's good enough for now. Like, that's a fun thing. Since you're supposed to have 8 seasons. What's up, Legendary Magic Turtle? You got the classic 80 Super 7s for around 30 on eBay. Yeah. I don't know. Like, if you're on the fence, I mean, there's no reason not to wait and just see if you could get a deal. I think they're dope, though. Do you want to see Joy Toy? I know this is Super 7, but look at this slash. You want to know a cool thing about the slash? So they have this, like, tankard, this, like, beer stein. Look at this. You can take out the foam. So if you just want, like, the empty one, like he's dropped it, the hands are kind of fucking loose. Where's the... Oh, no. Can you do scaling real quick? Yeah. I just think this is so cool with Joy Toy. They put, like, the foamy beer. I just love this slash. He's just so neato. Where did his lobster? He has a lobster. Like a lobster sandwich you can put on the knife. You pre-ordered the Super 7 or the Joy Toy? So scaling. So let's stand him up. God, I've fucked this guy about a million different ways. Joy Toy. Yeah, if you don't like 1/18 scale, Joy Toy is rough. I got my Timothy Tons stuff on Tuesday since I'm from Canada and Ontario. You already have your stuff? That's wild. That slash looks like a pirate. Very much so. Very, very pirate things going on with the slash. And the toka even more so. So here is... I think that's about his full height. So here's him next to, like, Creep... What the fuck? They're all fucked up. Creep-tastic Donnie. Pretty parable. Just under 5 inches. We're going from the foot there. No, I'm fucking dumb. That's the centimeters. So just under 6 inches. Oh, you'll be getting them on Tuesday? That's pretty cool. You'll probably, honestly, the rest of my actual Super 7 order, I probably won't have by Tuesday. It's possible, but we'll see. So there's that. Obviously, if you're looking at Joy Toy scale, a little baby Raph, or oh fuck, ooh, if you want to scale in with Toka, look how cool Toka is. Toka has an articulated jaw, which is freaking nuts. I would buy for the heads, but not $60 worth it. Toka has a turkey leg and his own little beer stein. So there's Toka. Little Toka guy. Compared to a different Super 7, yeah, Joy Toy detail is just incredible. It's just... they're doing some crazy shit. So compared to the other Super 7 turtles, they're different. They're different. I think Mikey's not up to his full height. I don't know. But about the same. But you can see there he's thicker. Joy Toy has they've made some 112 figures. Oh god. But 118 is really their like bread and butter, so I don't anticipate it ever happening soon. I think they'll just get more and more. There's Joy Toy Krang, which Joy Toy Krang is a big boy. Ling Jun. Yeah, the Ling Jun turtles seem dope. Joy Toy Krang is 6.5 inches. Is NECA doing like the Turtle Forever toys? No. I don't think so. NECA is currently doing the 2012. I mean, they have the Toon line, they have 87. They have the movie line, and they have the 2012 line starting up. Yeah, Meditoys. Yeah, Meditoys. As far as I don't know, I haven't seen an update on the Ling Jun turtles. I think it's like a subline of Meditoys, because Meditoys is where they do their unlicensed stuff. So I think if they put it under like Ling Jun, they can distance from themselves or whatever. But those turtles look pretty good. Those turtles are going to be like 6 inches, I think. So they should be right around the same size. I have an update, bro. NECA wants in on everything, Timothy. Yeah. I'm super excited for the 2012 series. That's my favorite Turtle series, and I think NECA can do them very spectacularly. Heat Boys. Yeah, Heat Boys are like 8 inches. Yeah. Heat Boys, yeah, they're like $100. Ling Jun are like 80. Here's the thing. So Super 7 has the 2003. I very much doubt how much longer Super 7 goes. So then the license would be free. So if Super 7 doesn't survive and keep on trucking with the license, anybody could swoop it up, you know? Anybody could. I think that's unacceptable. Like, you gotta test this shit out enough to realize when they're scuffing. Because it's not even I did like the craziest poses, you know? This Leo sucks. What a dud. Yeah, it depends what you're looking for. But I think he's pretty. I think all things considered, he's as sick. I just think Super 7 could have done better with accessories. Because literally, this is it. So for $60, I don't know. But if we put the sheath. Like, that's pretty sick. That's pretty cool. Did you get the extra head pack? I did. I did order all 4 from Super 7. They just shipped today. I ordered this one for fun from Entertainment Earth. You unironically prefer the 2003 Playmates. Now that's a little crazy. That's a little nuts. After 20 years, this is the best we're getting out of 2003 Turtles for a while. Yeah, I like the 2003 Playmates figures, but I mean, certainly in terms of articulation, they're rough. I have a feeling 2012 Shredder will be the most posable Shredder for a while. Possibly. I'm trying to think of any other... I mean, the Mezco Shredder. The Mezco Shredder will probably be better for posing. Well, thanks for joining, Kusuo. Appreciate it. The Playmates is insane. Have fun on Fortnite. The Playmates figures are great, but I think these are a much better depiction. If you ignore the price and blah, 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 I would totally go with these. Playmate, yeah, Playmates did a ton. They had a whole line for many years. Playmates has basically done a line of figures for every iteration, but it's the like the kid toys. So it's just so interesting. The hyper extending. Yeah, Leo is the only one I have. Just because I ordered him from Entertainment Earth. I do like that. I Jesus Christ. That he can actually grab the hilt. That's a plus. And I do like that he can you can do the double. Wish they had more paint. Yeah, I think it's tough because they clearly wanted to keep like the bare bones animation look, but it also means like unpainted plastic. They should have at least painted the shell. For me, the shell is what really sticks out because it's just a bare plastic. So it kind of has, I don't know, a Happy Meal toy kind of look. But it's a cool Leo. I think Mikey is going to be the better one. Thank you, Oliver. You too. Um, Mikey got the better thing because he has the spinning chucks. You know, Leo, no slash effect. I pulled his hand out. Do I think these will go on clearance? The later waves, the newer waves of Turtles, I don't think they've been as bullish on production, and I don't think stores have been as bullish on ordering. So I think production numbers have come down and ordering numbers have come down. So I don't think we'll quite see the crazy sales. But if they get a bunch of these and they don't sell them, at some point they'll have to go on sale. So I would never rule it out. So unless you like super love them and you have to make sure you got to have them, there's no reason not to wait for a sale. Yeah, Playmates figures, they are pretty rock solid, hard to break. If they did an outline look, it'd be really cook. Do you think the second wave? I think the second wave. I think the second wave is much more exciting in terms of designs. I think the Shredder, that Splinter is sick, that Casey is sick. Mechanically, I think they'd be the same, but at this point, I don't think the QC would improve. The shell is accurate to the show. Yeah, it's just I don't know. There's a little bit of like it's kind of the same thing with the swords. Like show accuracy doesn't necessarily always translate one to one. So it's like a little paint would help it go a long way. A matte coating for a bit of shadowing, but customizing for an already $60 figure. Yeah. So $60. I think Super 7 does better when they have a design like this, where they can put the fun details on it, and it just brings out. Happy Meal toy was brutal, but true. Yeah, it's just whenever you have just bare plastic, it. Because honestly, I didn't realize, and maybe it doesn't show here, but there is some paint and shading on the his turtleness, like his arms and legs. So that part is fine, but that makes the shell and the scabbards like stark as hell. Like they could have done a black wash on the scabbard, right? So, but yeah, just Super 7, they can do amazing stuff. That's why I would love to get like imagine like a surfer Leo. I would love this kind of thing in this kind of body and let him go. But yeah, it's big. Super 7 figures are already big, and you can just see. It's pretty out there. The show actually is good, but the quality is so ass. Yeah. They come across like a Mattel, like a Origins kind of level where it's like mostly bare stuff. Um, they just have a feel that they're like a cheaper figure than they are. I didn't think it's big though. They're big. They're big, beefy boys, which I do think is actually cool about Super 7. But he's pretty limber. He's pretty cool. He's getting kicked. Look, I'll show you, I don't know. One of my favorite poses to do. I think is always fun. Yeah, and I'm not the best poser, but I think it's fun when it's like they just got kicked, and they're like, it's dope. Like if Sewer Surfer Mikey, like I think that's rad. The fingers look oddly long. Yeah, actually, I could see that. Because they also kind of like flare out. They get bigger as they go on. So it's almost like a cartoony like distortion they did. Also, no, like you can see in the sculpt for Mikey, you can see like a thumb, like a nail, right? And these ones are just flat. But yeah, do you see what I'm saying? Where it looks like, how like sometimes they animate stuff and it's kind of like, do you see how his foot is in that? Like they kind of captured that with the thing. Can he do? Let's see if he can do the shoulder angriness. I need reference because I'm a fucking idiot. The selfless slicer. Can he hit the John Cena "you can't see me" pose? Not really. I mean, kind of. Maybe space for a future throwing star. True. True. Man. Crossed arm poses are always difficult. Yeah, not really. Some butterfly. A little butterfly. Or if they would have cut the sculpt, if they would have dipped in. Because, like, I'll show you. The Joy Toy Turtles. The Joy Toy Turtles don't have a butterfly either, but do you see how they dip into the sculpt? Right? So it allows it to go in further. Right? Do you see what Mikey can do? Like Joy Toy, these are single jointed elbows. But Mikey can cross just better than Leo can. I'm really curious where the TMNT dicks and well, turtles have a cloaca, right? I don't even think turtles have wieners. I think turtles have cloacas. I mean, the human mutation, would that give them that? Perhaps. But I don't think turtles technically need them. I was honestly hoping NECA would do these figures, but I think Super 7 did a fairly decent job. I think Super 7 did the best that they're capable of doing. I think I twisted his fucking arm around, actually. You know, I think Super 7 did as best as Super 7 was ever going to do. The black and white version does. Yeah, I mean, they have tails sometimes, but I wonder what the early test designs looked like. I mean, maybe we'll get an art book someday, or Kyle would share those designs. Would be cool. Because I know Kyle does some pretty wild stuff sometimes. Like, that's a cool pose. Like, Leo's ready to kick some ass. The tails look like 4 inches. Oh, man. Look, this is like Leo. He's doing some, like, ninja training shit. Male turtles do have dicks. They're just inside the cloaca. Interesting. I just thought cloacas were like a one-stop shop. But that's cool. That's cool. I swear to God, once you learn about a cloaca, it's like you can't think of anything else. You know? At least if you're me. Can he balance? Like on one leg? I mean, that's kind of a hard question because it's like, can I balance? That requires mechanical knowledge on my end. Yes, I mean, the Yamcha pose. What's the Yamcha pose? Mm-mm-mm-mm. The dead pose? I mean, let's see. Do you have 87 turtles? I do. I don't have them like readily available necessarily. How's that for you? his, his head would go down more. Do you have a motorcycle or vehicle that you can fit? No, I don't have any motors. I have the NECA Last Ronin motorcycle, but I haven't opened it yet. Um, he'd probably fit pretty good. Probably more than 5 years. I think they'll focus on 2012 for a while, but maybe, I mean, if the license freed up and, Super 7 wasn't around, who knows? I should get going though, folks. I got to join. I do a podcast. We're actually talking about the 2003 show that we record, the Ninja Turtle Power Hour. I actually got to go record that in just a little bit. So yeah, I don't know. Super 7's future is up in the air. I'm rooting for them. I love them as a company, even for their flaws. I think this is pretty solid. All things considered. But I think they'll focus on the 2012 Turtles for a good long while. And probably maybe even a different company would get 2003, but who knows? The podcast, it's just a Ninja Turtle Power Hour. It's not live. We don't record it live. We release it like a old timey podcast, but it's on like Spotify. Um, thank you. It's like Spotify, Apple, iTunes, whatever the fuck. Yeah, just Ninja Turtle Power Hour. And those are the accounts it's on like Twitter and whatnot. Yeah, we every Tuesday. But yeah, thanks for joining me, folks. Very much appreciated. I hope you enjoyed this look at Super 7 Leo. I think he's pretty stellar. I don't think he's worth $60, but I don't regret buying it. But yeah, take care, folks. Bye. Yeah, have a good one, everybody.